Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Oh, there's me. There's you. I don't know what went on there. So if you noticed at the beginning, I screwed up. I started the clock and I didn't go live. That's why I went back to
Twice.
No, only once.
Well, the clock went twice.
The clock went twice, yeah.
Right.
My fault.
Yeah. Well, I allow you to take the blame for that.
I will. I'm not afraid to see when I make mistakes.
You're right.
Which is usually about once a week. But It is Wednesday. It is 7:00, and we got one hell of a show tonight. We really do. I'm really looking forward to this. So who's our guest?
Well, our guest is a very interesting lady who has a college degree in voice and music, which makes her eminently qualified to run a campground. And not a campground, but 14 campgrounds in just 2 years. So we can do one of two things. We can bring her on right now, or we can say hello to our audience that has gotten so far.
Bunch on really quick. So let's do that, and then we'll bring Ali Rasmussen on. Yeah. So
special hello to Jerry Plant.
Is he first? He gained his slot as #1 fan. So
Yep. Jim Conboy is always with us. We saw Jim last Friday,
right,
and Saturday and Sunday down at the Sun RV place down at Mohegan Sun, and Kathy Babinski Thompson. I'm guessing that she might be one of Allie's army.
Maybe she's from New Jersey. Hey, wait a minute! You forgot Kim.
I went right by Kim. I went right by her.
Yeah, boy put a second.
Girl camper Kim.
Kim actually has an event at Minuteman Campground, which is part of Spacious Skies, in June. She can tell us a little bit more about that. Jim says, want to know where she got her degrees.
NYU.
NYU and Duke. Duke, yeah. Graduate work.
Yeah.
So Katie's probably part of Allie's fan club.
I would guess Charles Butler is back.
Butler, Kim,
and Kate. Don't forget Kate. Kim
said
we didn't forget you.
She caught you. Well, at least
you know what?
Attention.
This is enough about us. Let's go right to our guest because I think Ben Quiggle might be watching tonight because Ben put a giant post on LinkedIn today.
Right, he shared with the whole world of Woodall's campground management.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yep. So here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to RVing in New England. It would help. Let's do that over again. I didn't unmute your microphone. I'm doing well. What are we, 5 minutes into the program? I screwed up twice already?
Twice. It's about right.
Yeah.
Regardless, thank you for having me, whether or not you keep me muted.
Allie, welcome to RVing in New England. Now, we met at the Boston RV show because I commented to your people that were there on Friday and Saturday, and then I think I met you on Monday, on MLK Day. And I said, you guys have your act together because you don't put up a big wall between your booth and the aisle. And I said, there is some marketing expertise here because you had your balloons were all one color and your literature was all one color and everything. So I said, there's got to be some giant New York-based ad agency behind here. But I was right. It was New Jersey-based. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about, everybody, we're going to find out about the campgrounds proper tonight, but your story of how you and your husband got into this is very interesting. So why don't you take us back? Actually, take us back to NYU and sing your,
I didn't warm up, but I do still sing around the campfire. You can ask some of the team Spacious guys about that. We like to do that when we get together. But I did start out thinking that I was going to be a musician. I studied classical voice from childhood, as early as I could. I think age 11 or 12, I started taking voice lessons, and that it took me to a music program at NYU, and that's where I graduated. And I quickly realized that taking my art form and trying to make a living out of doing it was
two separate things.
It took all the fun out of it. So
Yep.
I quickly pivoted to more behind the scenes. I went to work for a PR and marketing firm, a music PR and marketing company in the city. And from there, I decided I should go back to school. And I thought that the most broad degree where I would get the most sort of out of it was an MBA program. So I got into UNC and Duke, and I went down to the Triangle in the Carolinas, and that's where I met Eric, my co-founder and husband. And
In
he
that
and I
order?
met. What's that?
In that order? Husband and co-founder, or co-founder and husband?
Well, it depends on
Who you're talking to, right?
what I'm trying to emphasize.
Yeah. I
So
totally threw you off.
what's that?
I said I totally threw you off.
Not at
Not
all.
intentional.
You
Okay,
Not at
so now you met Eric.
That's right.
At a bar.
And I will say that I have been a very outdoorsy person from forever. Not because my parents took us out camping or anything like that. They don't like the outdoors. But the school that I went to, they started taking us camping in the 6th grade or 5th grade even. And so they were taking us out on annual camping trips as kids, and it was real camping. We would hike through the Adirondacks and for a number of days to do the tents, the lean-tos. And I took that passion, that love for the outdoors and for camping and hiking and backpacking throughout the rest of my life. So that was always within me. I'd never been RVing before. I'd never maybe stepped in an RV even. So before that, though, Eric and I do meet in business school, and we were both we were atypical MBA students for sure. We were not on any of the typical tracks, consulting or even the marketing track. I really wasn't on that directly. But he was a real estate focused MBA, makes sense. His background is in construction engineering. And my degree, I think, is really strategy and decision sciences, but most of my courses that made that up were marketing based. And we knew that we would do something together, and we brought a number of ideas to the table over the years, mostly real estate, single family, multifamily, even mobile home communities. We went to that. Who are those guys? It's Frank and Dave. Do you guys know them? The mobile home guys. We went to their seminar in Florida.
I'm not familiar with them.
And
No.
they're like the kings of mobile home communities and investing. And so we thought maybe we would go that direction, and it just didn't materialize. And after school, after we graduated our MBA programs, we both worked for the same real estate development company. Eric was doing development, and then I was on the ops team handling like special projects and community building in the downstairs spaces of these luxury high-rise apartment buildings that the company was developing. So the idea was that rather than have a regular lobby space, I had the initiative to turn those into flex art spaces and to bring in, artists and musicians and other things to program.
Not regular retail.
No, not regular retail, not retail.
Yep. Okay.
It was all about bringing the local communities in to our spaces and turning them into gathering places and areas where creativity sort of abounds and people feel it's an inspiring type of environment versus your standard.
Rather than just a stark, boring lobby.
That's right.
With people only
with elevators and push buttons.
Right.
Correct.
People only in to get from the door to the elevator.
That's right.
We had to make use of that space.
We would have grand pianos just in the middle of the spaces for anybody to come and play. We would have rotating art galleries. We would have performances, and that was really interesting. And our territories were Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and LA. So,
did you live out there?
We did. We lived in Seattle.
Okay, and this is pre-kids, pre-marriage, or
pre-kids, beginning of marriage, and then we started our family and moved back east with just sort of an idea that we were tired of being so far away from everybody out there on the West. Eric's from Iowa originally, so his family is in the Midwest, but I am
halfway.
From.
Either way, he's halfway.
That's right. Either way, and we ended up back on the East Coast. Eric was he was developing self-storage, and I was right.
Yep.
there's a connection.
Everybody did.
Mm-hmm. And I was home with the kids, accidentally, almost. And
when did you buy your pop-up?
So the pandemic hits, right? Early 2020.
Yep.
And I think it was Eric's mom who starts sending us these articles about, people are buying campers and taking, the opportunity now that no one has to go into the office to travel around. And so we thought that sounded like a great idea. We just went out on a whim and bought a Pioneer, just like a regular old 32-foot family camper.
That was a Fleetwood product.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Pioneer. Yeah.
Yes. So
Bob will tell you the model number if you really want to know that much.
What is it? Now I'm going to quiz you.
So now you're camping, and you bought
That's
it.
Right.
You bought it before you even went camping on a loaner or a rental?
Yes, we chose to just do it.
Just go.
Did you go to a show, or did you look at different dealers, or did you buy it through a third party?
We looked online at the Lakewood, New Jersey Camping World website.
Yep.
And picked the most affordable option for us to take that risk on.
Okay.
You didn't go to Colonial RV just down the street, huh?
I do know that.
Yeah.
I'm agnostic. So we get this camper and we hit the road, and and we have our 3 little kids with us. They were, 8 months and 2 and 6. He must have been 6, 5 or 6.
So when you say hit the road, did you pack everything up and go on? Did you hit the road for a day or a weekend, or did you just pack everything and literally hit the road? So you never went camping. You went camping, but you never owned an RV. So you buy an RV. Did you just pack it up and go?
I think that we took it home. Eric rolls up with it. because it was the pandemic, right? So everything was super restricted.
Right.
You had to make, the appointment to go, and had to be a specific time, and we had to, pick out the model well in advance, and he could only tour that one. And so that was the one, and he came home with it. And I think the next day we packed up and we went on our first 8-day road trip. We planned nothing in advance. We got on the road, and as we're driving, well, let's see how far we can push it, how long the kids can take it. And we made it to Delaware.
Wait, how long the kids can take it, or how long you could take it?
One and the same.
So basically, our audience now is thinking, this lady is nuts, or this lady has done something that I've always wanted to do.
I am not gonna pretend like folks in this industry and people who like to RV in general aren't a little quirky.
Okay.
And
Janine,
I think that
Janine Pettit from Girl Campers says hello from Texas. You know,
oh, hi, Janine.
You know,
New Jersey too.
Everybody knows Janine, right? She's a New Jersey gal.
Yeah,
And,
Janine. She lives down the street from the high school I went to.
yeah, and Judy. That's like a new name, I think.
She one of yours?
Hi, Judy. I don't know. She has the last name of our director of communications, so maybe a relation.
Tim's RV is in Irving. He's one of our great nerve to dealers, and he likes to pick on John. So you'll see a couple of slaps there. Ed Latour, good friend of mine from my document imaging days. Steve Hogan from Roadie Campers. For those you folks that have not been paying attention to the Facebook page, not to Ali, but to our Facebook page, you've seen me posting the new logo and the new group Roadie Campers down in Rhode Island.
Roadie Campers.
Yeah, that's the old Good Sam, Rhode Island. Steve and Gail Hogan, the former state director. So Good Sam has dropped all of their state directors and their state clubs. They get rid of their Good Sam club. So it's another opportunity for you to get involved with some of those people in these clubs. Frank is
excellent
in from the North Shore, not camping in his Airstream this weekend, but soon.
Not this weekend.
And,
all right, if he wants to, he can go to French Pond in Henniker, New Hampshire.
There you go.
We're open.
Yeah, is that a year-round facility?
It is.
Well, we got to promote that because we don't have too many up here. We have
I know
Danforth Bay in Maine. I think we only have 2. We have to really spotlight that tonight.
Yeah.
Janine says, brave parenting move.
I can't. I mean, it really is a wonder that we liked it so much because those first nights
it does grow on you. Tim Roy is with Silver Moose Restorations in Monmouth, Maine. When he's literally in the woods of Maine, and he restores Airstreams and other vintage trailers. Does an amazing job. Amazing.
Oh, well, he sounds like a good person to know.
And he says, Henniker is my old stomping ground. So that's right. She went up to college.
To New England College?
Yeah. I don't think it was New England College.
Yeah, that's the only college that's in that.
That's the only college in that town, I think.
Yeah. So they're warming up to it. So
now you're in your first night. You said
our first night. Okay,
sleeping was kind of.
So we, and this is how we did it for the whole summer because we went out for 2 or 3 long trips like that, 8-day trips.
8 days
after the first one. Yeah, we would just go.
Because you didn't know better.
Because we didn't, but because we were just trying to take it all in and trying to just pack in the experience. And,
let me just interrupt you for 1 second and ask our audience that's watching now, just write in, over on the right side there in the comments, how long was your first camping trip? And Ali, I will guarantee you, there is no one that is going to say 8 days.
and we stayed in a different campground every night.
Oh my God!
That even compounds it more.
That was insane.
You can guarantee nobody was crazy enough to break it down and set it up.
That is
7 or
That
8.
is stress on a marriage.
But there were so many moments of just wonder and just delight over what we were gaining access to that we didn't know was possible with other forms of travel. Like I think it was that trip where we found one of those campgrounds. We made it to the Outer Banks. And we made it to one of those campgrounds that have like sites that are just, you hook up and then you like walk a few steps and you're on the beach. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
We didn't know that this was possible. And
So
there were
let me-
so
let me-
many.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The first trip, it's an 8-day trip. On the 4th night, you're sitting around the campfire with Eric. You look at each other, and what do you say?
Holy.
I think it was,
Family
I know
shows.
that it was, it took 3 hours to get the kids to go to sleep. And then it's like, 10 o'clock and we're just sitting around our campfire in this campground, some new place we've never been. And I mean, we were just enthralled and in awe of this whole new world, this whole new lifestyle that we were experiencing. And I remember looking up at the stars, and it was really the start of something much bigger.
I want you to fast forward a little bit and think.
But wait, I haven't even told you about the first night though, because it really is hilarious.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you one question before that. A few minutes ago, you said the wonder of it. Did you mean, I wonder what the hell we're doing here? Is that what you meant by the wonder of it?
No, it was magic.
Okay.
There's something.
Wait. Were you having postpartum blues at that time?
Just eager to get out of our prison that we had been in since March.
You are a brave soul.
All right, so finish the first night. So
okay, go ahead. First night.
The first night, so we're using, and I download all the apps, because I'm trying to just figure out how to do everything and how to use everything, and so I forget which app we were using, and it was just to try to find a place to call to spend the night, and we're like, okay, I think we're gonna land in Delaware tonight. I think that's about as far as we can go, 3.5 hours from home, and I see some campground, the dot on the map is on the back bay. And it's like, well, that sounds nice. And so we call and, oh, yeah, we've got a spot. And so we pull in, and it is, and we haven't camped anywhere like this ever again. And they have their place, but it was it was a long-term campground. They had one site for an overnighter that we took. The sites, I mean, like it was sardines, just packed. Yep. And I remember, and I don't know, I have had experiences where I've camped in a tent in a mobile home community before in a different country. And so I don't know, I've had all these experiences. It doesn't really shock me so much. I know that it's probably just one type of the type of RV campground that you may encounter and whatever. So we're here for the night. But Eric is thinking, what did I get myself into? Like, is this RVing? Is this camping? Because it was a residence. They were residents.
It was a neighborhood.
It was a neighborhood.
Yep.
And so he's sort of panicking internally. I don't really catch on to that. I'm just like, whatever, we're here for a night, knowing that there is more to this camping thing. And he is just, well, if this is it, I don't want to do this anymore. And he tells me later that he wanted to, after that first night in this, effectively a trailer park, he wanted to pack up and go back home the next day, but he did not end up saying that out loud. And we persevered and we kept going. And on that first 8-day adventure, that was that experience. And then we stayed in a state park that was beautiful. And then we stayed in a private campground somewhere else that was, run by mom and pop. That was really great. And we stayed at a KOA. We stayed at 1,000 Trails. We did that whole thing where they, they do the pitch. They let you stay for one night. That was really interesting. And it wasn't on our way back. It was our last night in Pennsylvania, or maybe it was 2 nights before that. Wherever it was, we were in some KOA in PA, and it dawned on us that maybe this is what puts everything that we know how to do and suddenly love all together.
So Eric went from hating it to loving it in 1 week.
Well,
it was more complicated than that,
Yeah.
but we
only have an hour-long show.
Well, I was getting to that. We're halfway into it, and Kim,
and we're only at the first night.
This is a great comment.
Segue into how you thought
Now
of
we're
buying.
going to talk about how we got into the campgrounds and owning 14 campgrounds, 5 of which, by the way, are in New England.
5 are in New England.
36% of your inventory is right up here in New England.
Yeah, they're our first crop. So, we went on a number of camping trips that summer. I think there was like 20 to 30 nights on the road total, and we had really been seriously considering for our entrepreneurial venture. We really were studying up on mobile home communities. We had been looking into them and researching and following the markets and all that for a while, 6 months to a year. And so that didn't materialize for a few reasons. And so then when this presented itself to us as a thing that we didn't know about before, it was an easy jump over to what the knowledge we had been learning and gaining from MH.
All right, let me stop you there. I want to show a short video, and then you explain what this video. I don't think there's audio on this video, but this will give people a good overview of where your 14 units are located. It's very short, but then you can tell us what this video actually means.
Oh yeah. That's our little universe.
Tennessee to Maine, but there's a name for that trip.
Yes, that is the Spring Bloom Trail.
And what's the logic
going in that direction too?
What's the logic behind the investments that you've made in campgrounds? And as an owner, how you view your responsibility to the communities that you serve?
Well, every campground is a local business, and it is important that, as best we can and as responsibly as we can, that we represent ourselves in a way that is beneficial to each local community. And so that means working with the local communities, which we are, every day working towards, just because of the velocity, the speed with which we acquired our current collection, the opportunity to really spend time in each local area was constrained a little bit. Now we're really getting into it. And so, but even before we had physical presences with our faces in the communities, it was always important to that campgrounds are base camps to the local attractions that you can find in each area. And so we make sure that on our website, each area or each campground has a local attractions and area page where we did not, there, now we're starting to make relationships with the businesses that we have been promoting already on our website, but without, having to make any sort of deals before that. We wanted to promote the local area, the local businesses, the local attractions, the things to do in the area.
Ali, explain
Yes.
explain your necklace. This is a good point. Good place to explain the necklace.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Bob, it's a lanyard, Bob. It's not a
yeah,
necklace.
the lanyard, the talisman.
All right.
So, each campground is unique for a number of ways. And the Spring Bloom Trail highlights it's nature. What flowers, what blooms in that area. So that is how one way we highlight how each campground is unique. And so another way that we do, which you can find these items, you can collect these from our camp store. So if you look at our Spacious Skies Campground logo right here, and this is a staff lanyard that all of our team members get. And if you look at our campground, this is Spacious Skies Campgrounds, the main logo, you'll see there is a marshmallow icon in the middle, and that icon changes out for each one of our now 14 campgrounds. So it highlights the unique personality of that one. So for instance, this is the moose from Spacious Skies Balsam Woods in Abbott, Maine. My Mainers. Speaking of Maine, we've got the walnut tree leaves from Walnut Grove, Spacious Skies Walnut Grove in Alfred, Maine, southern Maine. The 7 maples of Spacious Skies 7 Maples, Hancock, New Hampshire. Who else is New England?
Minuteman.
This is French Pond.
Yep.
And then we've got the turkey, one of my early cheeky ones. The wild turkey is Spacious Skies Minuteman, and that is after, and that is a Boston area campground.
Yep.
Littleton, Massachusetts. It's you can get to Boston from there, and the turkey is paying tribute to Ben Franklin, who he thought that the state or the United States bird symbol should be a wild turkey rather than a bald eagle. And so we call that out.
I guess you lost that argument, huh?
We have some business questions here. And by the way, Ali, if you have an alcoholic beverage or anything, feel free to consume it because Zagami is doing that as we speak. It's a
You don't have to know what's in my mug.
Good. You're welcome to the show. You catch on real quick. All right.
So, as long as the mug doesn't say SSDD.
I do have a question. That brings up a very important topic. How far is your Tennessee campground from Lynchburg, Tennessee?
Uh-oh.
From Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Right.
Where
do you know what's in Lynchburg, Tennessee?
Don't put her on the spot, Zagami.
Huh? I put her on the spot. It's in
that glass.
In this glass.
Oh, is it? It's bourbon. It's bourbon.
No,
whiskey.
You don't never call Jack Daniel's bourbon.
Sorry, whiskey.
It's sipping whiskey.
I'll drink it. I don't need to know too much about it.
Was founded in Lynchburg. It's still there to this day. Still using the same spring. So that could be one of your cultural attractions to your Tennessee campground, depending on how far away you are.
I wonder how far away it is.
He wants to be the ambassador of that. He wants to be the ambassador. He will lead tours from that campground over to,
field trips from.
That sounds like it would do very well.
Yeah. So let's get into a few questions here because
what do we got?
When did you and your husband first look at each other in the eye and say, let's buy one of these things?
It was on one of those early camping days, the first 8-day trip, or maybe the second one. I don't know. It was really early, and it was around a campfire at a KOA in Pennsylvania. We said, this is what we should do.
What
Was there
is
something funny that somebody threw into that campfire to
John,
to
back
send
up.
some
What
fumes?
was the time
It's the
frame
color flames. You really shouldn't breathe them
It's
in.
the color.
John, give me the time frame on that one because I want to go through this. Some great questions here.
What was that again?
Give me the time slot on that one that you just mentioned.
Oh, the one from Jim Conboy. I've lost it here. Hold on. It's a good one. They're all good questions. They're all good questions. I would love to hear about 7:30.
Okay.
I would love to hear about the business side of the business. How'd you start it? How'd you finance it? And how you selected your campgrounds.
Which
Sure.
that Convoy?
Convoy.
There you go. Okay, that one.
Yes.
But
So
now we're in the lightning round now, Ali.
Lightning
because-
round.
Yeah, short answers.
short answers. Okay, so for the first campground, we contacted 13 friends, colleagues, people that we worked with, people who were our professors, people who would listen to us and read our incredibly detailed business plan that we put together. And Eric is a master at the packet. And so we got 13 people to chip in and invest for that first campground. Our first campground was Spacious Skies Walnut Grove in southern Maine. And it was the Mia Johnson. She helped us
I just saw her last week.
On Rhode Island.
And
Yep.
it was, and we've worked with her a couple times. So Eric had been in touch with her from that summer, and we were looking at that deal. We looked at it that summer. Actually, for our anniversary, our wedding anniversary that year, we went camping by ourselves without the kids. We left them home. We took our camper up and we went to Walnut Grove and toured it with the seller. We weren't ready to take the plunge yet. Eric was still working, and we didn't feel ready. We didn't feel ready. And then we heard that it went under contract, and it's like, okay, well, wasn't meant to be, I guess. And then we hear it falls out of contract in like December of 2020. And so then we went full steam ahead. Eric quit his job, just straight up. We went 100%. This is what we're going to do. We knew that it wouldn't just be one. We thought it would maybe be like 4 or 5, and we would invest passively, which there is a genesis story to why we do things the way that we do today. But between January and when we closed on that campground in May, we figured out we got those initial investors, and we had originally planned to manage all of our campgrounds using a third-party management company. And so that was the first time a part of our business plan failed.
That did not work out?
Sure didn't. No. So we engaged a third-party management company, thought that it would be great, and that they, we would keep finding deals and they would manage them for us. And after that, on closing day, I go up, and I think that I'm going up to meet whoever they were going to put in temporarily because they hadn't hired a full-time staff yet. And but don't worry, it'll be fine. We do this all the time. So I went up for closing day and for the week, thinking that I would be there, meet whoever they sent, do the closing ceremony with the sellers, and then I would, maybe go glamp at a few of our area competitors. I showed up that day, and it was 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon. Nobody from the management company was showing up. And I am their saving face, right? This is we've got everything in this. and Eric is at home with the 3 kids, thinking I'll be home in 5 days. And I finally, somebody shows up, and she's wearing stiletto heels and on a campground. And she was a lovely woman. I worked with her for a week, and then I worked with a couple other people for more time. But she was told that she was there to train the staff on the software. There was no staff, and I said, okay, well, if you're here, why don't you go to Walmart and get some sneakers, and I'm going to stay, I guess. I'm going to manage this campground. And so I called Eric up, and I said, I can't come home because I have to manage this campground that has 75 seasonal guests and a full, the rest of the 25 sites have a full summer of reservations. So I had no return home date.
Okay.
I just had to stay and learn. Okay. I did a crash course on managing a campground.
So you did this 14 times?
What's that?
Even after this, you didn't say, we're out of here?
There was not a moment where we said, we regret this. Or,
let me see what the Turco says. Were you impressed with the RV itself in comparison with the travel points visited?
Was I impressed with the RV itself in comparison with the travel points visited? No, the RV itself was basic. It was what we needed.
It was just a vehicle to get there.
Just a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And sit in a couple hours a day for.
All right. Steve Hogan says, how do you find time to camp now that you own all this responsibility?
Well, when I travel to our campgrounds, and I still do all the traveling. It never flipped. So Eric, he'll go out for deal hunting, and then he'll identify something that I should see, and then we take it from there. But once we own the campground, once it's in the collection, I along with a number of our headquarter team members, will travel to them as needed, and it is needed often.
So
for checking in with the team.
You manage all the campgrounds that you own.
That's right. That's right. Now we manage all the campgrounds ourselves, which that was decided on day 2 of me managing that first campground. But anyway, so I do camp at our campgrounds with my teardrop trailer. So I don't pull the 32-foot myself. We got a little one, a little new camp, and so I camp when I go to our campgrounds, and it's great and it's wonderful. And those days are my favorite days.
Okay. And you're unique. I will say you're unique because I think most people would say that we're out of here, baby. I don't care what we lose. We're going back to Manhattan. And
either that or one of them would say, who the hell's idea was this?
Well, it is true. I don't know why we didn't say that. I don't know why. Other than we just didn't feel like we had the choice.
Do you know
what we're doing?
Have you met?
We haven't met Eric yet. I'm wondering if he even exists or whether he just bailed out with the 3 kids and said, "Hell with this."
He does exist. He exists under the radar. I'm the public face. I do all the talking in all parts of our life. So it makes sense that he doesn't really surface too often. He would have.
Yeah.
If I had asked him.
I'm only kidding.
Sandy wants a necklace. Do you know Sandy?
I know Sandy by name. I don't know.
Sandy, the answer to your question, Sandy, is you have to go to each campground to get one of those symbols.
That's right. This is a collectible along with the stickers.
Right.
This is what you collect. This is your memento from every Spacious Skies campground. And we should do a contest. If the first person to collect all the pins gets like a free year of camping or something.
Yeah, but they have to go to them. They can't just write away for them.
No. We would never do that. No.
Right. So it's kind of like a Eagle Scout. The
yes.
Eagle Scout wearing that badge.
That's right.
So speaking of a contest, Ali has donated to us a Spacious Skies Campground starter pack. which looks like a shirt and a coffee mug. And what's the other item?
It's a
their
magnet.
First RV.
Magnet.
It's a
Okay.
magnet.
It's
So
their
we-
first RV.
So,
That's the first one. I wish it was that cute.
so the 19th of March was their second year anniversary. So Ali and I decided that the 19th comment, and you can all count down if you want, but I'll count down, and whoever had the 19th comment will win that. And that's
You
good.
better hope the shirt fits because
I
we
do want
only
to
got
get
one.
there's such great. I do want to get back to those. We have some great questions. Convoy says, "Good question, Bob. Squires need to know." You're right. Jim is also a Jack Daniels man. Amanda Kennedy, 2 hours.
Oh, she mapped it. Thanks, Amanda. Amanda is our director of campground operations, and she is one of the team members that is on the road. She full times, and her husband Joe is our director of facilities, campground facilities. That's the two of them in that picture, and they are.
She has provided the answer to my question.
And she has
2 hours.
quick draw.
To Lynchburg. Yep. To Jack Daniels.
There we go.
Amanda, have you ever toured the Jack Daniels distillery? That's
Has she?
very important to know.
Joe and Amanda have
Andy
our
says,
Tennessee location is a special
Crash
place. In their
courses,
heart, for
why
sure.
you are so successful. That's correct.
I know that
That's
for a
correct.
fact.
Hey,
That is
before we
correct.
get too far down the line, you also, because I downloaded it, and tell us about this.
Yes, we are so excited to launch our loyalty program. We are calling our loyalty program members our Cosmic Campers. And you don't think that we would let our Cosmic Campers, not have their very own pin. So when you sign up, you can get this. This is exclusive. So all of these, not exclusive, and you have to go to the campground, but this, you have to be a member to get it. You also get a cool sticker when you check in for your loyalty program reserved campsites. But we just launched it in February, and I think that we're about 200 members strong by now, which is really exciting. For $31.90, there's that 319, March 19th.
March 19th.
For the year, you will get, and that's this year's price. You'll get 12% off of your short-term stays. So anything under 28 days. And
Okay. So we're supposed to ask why 12%, not 10% or 15%.
Because I think 12 is a cuter number. It's literally
okay.
just
I
that.
should have known that right away.
It's more, it's pleasing. Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
And
so-
it's also Kate, our director of communications, would be upset with me if I forgot to say it is also 21 reversed, which is our founding year.
Okay, so how does this fit into that program? What does it?
And it's what we'll call the kiddos of our program, Cosmic Kiddos. And so these little logos will make some exclusive, stickers and merch down the line, so that the loyalty program members can really feel that little special something when they're part of our Spacious Skies universe.
Can I do this? Because these programs go all too fast. We could have scheduled you for 8 hours, but let me do this. I want you to talk and give us a brief overview. Just the 5 in New England. What is unique about the 5 in New England?
Oh, I would be happy to. Okay, so I'll start at the top. Balsam Woods, Spacious Skies Balsam Woods is just a half hour south of Moosehead Lake.
That's way up there.
It's way up there.
That's up there.
How many spaces, Sandy? Allie?
That's even farther up there than Jim Roy.
Yep.
It's really far up there, but it's amazing. So it's 124 sites total. That's including the RV and the cabins. We have a couple rustic cabins and a few deluxe cabins there, and we just actually completed an expansion over the summer that added 30 additional, like really nice, large 50 amp full hookup sites.
And this is the one. This is the one you said is open year round.
This one is not open year round.
No.
That one's in New Hampshire. That is Spacious Skies French Pond down in Henniker.
All right.
That's
And that
open
is
2
open
weeks in
year-round.
July when there's no snow.
Right.
That's correct. So Balsam Woods that's near the Dark Sky National Park, I think. It's like an hour drive from there. And so I've seen the Milky Way with my naked eye up there. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. And we have access that it's close to ATV trails. So it's really popular in that area. Up there is the ATVing. So that's Balsam Woods. Then Walnut Grove, Spacious Skies Walnut Grove, that's baby number one. That is where I developed my chops there. And that's our starter campground. It's, southern Maine. We're like 30 minutes away from the beaches. It's definitely rolling farmland, very pretty, nearby orchards. And I guess it's like 45 minutes south of Portland. We have there's a
45 minutes south of Portland, put you right on the New Hampshire line.
Yeah. It's near Sanford.
It's
right?
like southwest.
Sanford is next to Sanford.
Southwest.
Yeah, it's the next town over from Sanford. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's very serene there. Walking trails. We've got big open sites, and you've got those wooded sites. The wooded sites are my favorite always. And we have cute little retro rental trailers there at that one. The Riverside Retros.
Yep.
Then French Pond, that is the one in Henniker, New Hampshire. We are open year round there. We're on the body of water called French Pond. So it is, beautiful, mature forest. And then you have this water access. We have a brand new renovated camp store there, a brand new renovated bathhouse that Joe Kennedy just worked on. And we did a lot of cleanup at this one, and it is now, it's got to be one of the top most beautiful ones in my eyes. And they're all beautiful and they're all special, but there is something about this mature forest and this body of water that really gets me.
I'm curious for our fans that are on, did any of you know that campground was year round? Because we have so many that are not in New England. You probably count on one hand and not use all your fingers as the ones that are year round in New England.
Yeah. Yep. Year round.
Yep.
Then Seven Maples, the Spacious Skies Seven Maples is in Hancock. So French Pond and Seven Maples are really a half hour down the road from each other, but they really do offer different experiences. I mean, they all have their own personality. So French Pond it's just the great outdoors. It's nature. And so is Seven Maples, but Seven Maples has a few more like family centric amenities. We've got a water slide there. We have this direct access to, I think it's a canal or something behind the property where you can put your kayak in, and you can kayak and sort of lift it up and stuff and get to the town center, which I think is pretty cool. And then the last one down there is Spacious Skies Minuteman. That is the one that is pretty darn close to Boston. You can, I think it's like 5 minutes to, what is it, the T that you drive in or take in?
Yeah,
the T.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are the second owners. If you consider the son of the original owners, sort of being all part of the same family. But we bought the campground from the guy who built it with his dad when he was 12, and the fire pits there are handmade with giant boulders, and it's another mature forest. I mean, you're driving down central Massachusetts, whatever road, central Massachusetts, and then you make your turn in.
Right off 495 and one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're just in this little haven, and you can't even believe that you're anywhere close to anything urban, and it's magical. It's just so special.
Now, at one time, that was a KOA. So apparently then they signed up for KOA, and then they got out of KOA.
They got out of KOA a long time. It was a long time ago. I think it was 2003 that they were last to KOA.
So, Ali, we have a minute and a half left. Talk briefly about your plans after 14. Is 14 it, or are you going to keep going down 95, 81, or what?
Well, 14 is definitely not it. 15 is underway. So my clue for you all is it's south, the furthest south. So we do plan to continue expanding the collection. I think right now our focus remains regional. So we'll be seeking to fill in a few pockets into the existing lineup. So, I mean, that's really the goal. And, you know, we manage all the campgrounds ourselves. I mean, that is something that I have to really highlight because it's a feat. I think that what we did in a couple of years, you know, we have an incredible team at the headquarter level and at the campground level who have, we've all come together and built this something out of nothing. And we have a full management company. We have training. We have culture. We have a vibe. We have you know, something that ties us all together, and it really is very genuinely the love of the
right
camp.
Now, if you go to that spaciouscampgrounds.com, can you make central reservations for all of the properties at once, or do you have to go to each of them separately?
Nope, it's right. It is centralized. We
Okay.
have an integrated multi-park booking.
Right.
You can actually put multiple reservations for multiple campgrounds in the same shopping cart.
Perfect. Well, we want to thank you so much. Sandy says you're a rock star and a great heart and another great woman
through some of the
in our community.
Closing comments. Rock star, as Frank says, year-round is very rare. Cape Cod is not year-round, the mild winter. Kim says Minuteman is so close to me, less than 1 hour from Boston. Yep. And
yes,
easy train ride. Laturco, I just sent a note to a family member who is traveling.
Oh yeah.
For attending the Patriots weekend festivities and reenactment in Lexington and Concord. That's something you want to get engaged with.
Yes.
Big event for the campground too.
Oh yes.
So staying at the Minuteman campground. Jim Roy.
Excellent.
Moosehead is 1 hour and 45 minutes north for Jim Roy. Amanda says, went to the next county for a taste. Now, see, for those of you who don't know what she means, Moore County, where Jack Daniels is a dry. County. You can't. Now I am a Tennessee Squire, so I'm on the preferred list, as is Jim Convoy. Now we do have they loosened up a little bit so where they can do tastings for the Squires and what have you. But literally, when after you did this great tour of the distillery and the lake and the statues of Jack, and you go into this room and you're expecting to sample Jack Daniels or Gentleman Jack or Single Barrel, they used to give you a glass of lemonade.
No.
So you had to leave the county.
Oh my goodness. That is silly.
Yes, you have.
Give our best to Eric and your kids who, you know what? The 8-year-old is old enough to put to work down in those southern states.
He loves to deliver firewood. Oh yeah, when the kids come on site with us, which is you know not that often, but when they do, they tuck right in. They'll clean a cabin. They'll work in the store. They'll deliver firewood. They love it. They are our little ambassadors. Very proud, Spacious guys.
And we are over time. Ali, thank you so much. The company is spaciousskiescampgrounds.com.
I hope.
Appreciate it. And one final comment. I will say that from a marketing, from a employee perspective, your group at the Boston RV and Camping Show was the most enthusiastic campground in that row. And you were a first timer in the show. We joke about this a lot. You go to these shows and they set up all this and they send their B team and they sit there looking at their telephone or reading a book. And
we have no B team. We have no B team.
You had good chocolate too.
You were all over everybody at that show, and you did a fantastic job with it.
Thank you. Yes, they did. Yes, I'm very proud of our team.
You should be.
It comes from a genuine place.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us. We'll catch up to you down the road, and we'll see all you folks next week. Thanks for joining in. Don't forget, I will count up number 19. Ali, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.